Rises, and Looper, his next adventure, is one he wrote and directed himself. It's titled Don Jon. I'm going to walk right over here. Joseph, thanks for being here today.
Good to be here, man.
Okay,
Thank you.
First of all, I've got to here. We could sit down.
All right.
We appreciate this. I just saw the movie with my wife a couple of days ago. First of all, Castellucci, are you Italian?
No, I'm not Italian.
You're not?
No.
Well, you sure play it convincing.
Thanks. I asked, well, Tony Danza, who plays my dad.
Well, I was just about to say.
I asked him, I said, what do you think? You think I could play Italian? He said, absolutely, you could be anything. Because, you know, he says, Jews and Italians are related. This is what Tony said. You know, Italians go like this and Jews go like that.
There you go. I mean, and just being with him, the way he talks, I'm sure it kind of rubs off a little bit on you.
Well, yeah, sure. I based a lot of how I was talking in the movie on how Tony talks. He you know, he's born and raised in Brooklyn.
Because he plays your dad, so you should talk just like him.
Well, exactly.
All right, so just tell us what the movie is about, first of all.
Okay, well, it's the origin of it is I wanted to tell a story about how people sometimes treat each other more like things than like people, especially when it comes to, you know, our love lives. And so I thought a story about a relationship between a guy and a girl, and the guy watches too much pornography and the girl watches too many romantic Hollywood movies would be a funny way to sort of get at these questions of like how are our expectations affected by things we see in the media, and how does that lead us to sometimes treat each other more like objects, like things, than like people.
God, and we're looking at obviously some clips from it, but I'm curious how you see your character as one who has a personality flaw or an addiction.
Yeah. Well, sure. You know, the title of the movie is Don Jon, which is based on, you know, an old classic character, Don Juan, which is, you know, he's a notorious womanizer and someone who doesn't treat people like people, whether they're men or women. He treats them more just like objects for his consumption and desire. And that's sort of how this character is, and you can see it in all aspects of his life, whether it's how he treats the women that he's with, or how he treats his friends or his family, you know, his relationship to his own body or his church, all the above. He's really kind of, he's not really connecting and paying attention to what's in front of him. Instead, he's sort of just projecting his preconceived notions onto things.
You know, I've got to stop the interview right now because all of the women in here, you know, they're looking at you without your shirt on. The least you could have done for me is brought Scarlett Johansson here. But that's okay. I mean, we're going to be okay. Look at them all over there. Yes, there he is. Okay, this is the thing. You wrote, directed, and starred in this film. That's got to be a first, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how did you? That's terrific. Do you
Thanks,
feel good
thanks.
about it?
I feel great. Yeah. Well, I've made lots of little short films and videos and stuff over the years. When I was 21, I'm 32 now. For my 21st birthday, I got myself my first copy of Final Cut Pro, which is it's the software I use to edit video, and it's called Pro, but really anybody can get it on their computer.
Right.
And I've been playing with my family's video cameras and stuff ever since I was a kid, but once you start editing, that's when it really becomes filmmaking, you know?
Right.
And so I've always just loved doing it, and after 10 years of doing it, I thought it was time to, you know, make a big movie.
Oh, that's good. I've been doing it for about 10 years. Maybe I could follow your path.
Absolutely.
Maybe when I'm about 70, I'll be right with you.
You're self-deprecating.
Hey, it takes a lot of guts, in my mind, to be. Is it okay to call you a lounge lizard in the movie?
Sure, sure. I like that, man.
Yeah.
You got a good old-fashioned feel to you. Well, I like that.
Well,
lounge
thanks.
lizard.
I
That's like,
appreciate. And who's addicted to porn? That takes a lot of guts. Did you obviously were thinking of that when you made it, right?
Sure, sure. Yeah, I wrote it that way. Yeah. Well, and I think that it's a good and powerful image for the thing I'm talking about, which is how people don't connect so much, and instead they take these things that they've learned from different kinds of media, not just pornography, but whether it's TV or movies or magazines or the radio or anything else, and they're always expecting their reality to match up to these images that they see on the screen, but it doesn't. What you see on the screen is a fantasy, and it's different than real life, and you know, so that's what the movie's about. And you know, people talk about porn addiction. What about television addiction? What about just any kind of media? You know, we all watch so much media all the time. It
could be just about anything. Okay, hey you guys, could you take notes on this, because I want to know, you got to cuddle with a lot of women. Cuddle. And I'm just wondering, you know, when you go up to somebody, like I was trying with Carrie, my co-host, just a minute ago.
I noticed.
Yeah. Hey, I want to make a little movie. Can you be in it with me? And you know, by the way, we're gonna make out. How did that go over?
Well, it wasn't just, hey, I want to make a movie and we'll make out. No, I spent a lot of time writing a script that I think is quite a good piece of writing.
It is.
So that I think was most of it. I actually went and met Scarlett for the first time. I had written this script with her in mind. I really always envisioned her playing this part. And she was in the middle of shooting The Avengers at the time. And I flew to Albuquerque because I wanted to personally, you know, talk to her about what the story's about and hand her the script. And I was fortunate enough to get to do that. And we had a really great conversation about how media plays into, you know, these expectations of what a man is supposed to be, or what a woman is supposed to be, or what love is supposed to be, or what sex is supposed to be. Yeah. And I think she was really intrigued with the story that I wanted to tell. And then she read the script and she liked it, so she wanted to do it. I was really flattered, and I'm just so happy that she did it. I don't know what I would have done if she hadn't wanted to do it, because I wrote it with her in mind.
Well, she was terrific in it.
Isn't she so good in it?
Yeah, and I think, I don't know what this clip is, but we could take a look. Here's a little clip from Don Jon. Roll that videotape.
Why'd you say yes to me?
You're just gonna have to wait to find out.
All right, I got time.
You're cute, I like you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Listen, you want to know the truth? You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it couldn't have been a better clip right there. What inspired you to make this movie? Was it personal experience, friends?
Yeah, I think all of the above. You know, I mean, I grew up working in TV and movies, and so I've always been really aware of the impact that different kinds of media has on people. And so that's, I think, maybe where it started. And let's face it, actors in our culture do sometimes get treated more like things than like people. Yep. But I don't think it's just actors. I think it happens to everybody across the board, that, you know, we all get kind of pigeonholed or put in boxes and labeled. And you can tell when you're talking to someone and they're not really listening to you. They already think they know what you are, and they're just treating you like that. Yeah. And so I wanted to make a movie about that, and I figured sometimes the best way to talk about serious stuff like that is to make people laugh about it, you know. So that's why I made it a comedy.
It's really funny.
Oh, good, man. I'm glad.
Man. And the family stuff, because I'm Italian. Right on, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah? Good.
Don Jon opens in movie theaters September 27th. Joseph, thanks for stopping by. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks very much.
Love the movie. Okay.